Welcome to another beautiful day, another EBX discussion. And I thank those that take the time to come in and listen to a brother. My soldiers and soldierettes, salute. And anyone that take the time out of your day. Because I know you're doing great, because if you alive and breathing, we are back to fight another day. Always got to stay grateful, my brothers and sisters, because there are those that didn't wake up and some that might not have went to sleep last night, if that make any sense. So anybody that in our families that transitioned, that we held dear, may they rest in peace and in power. And I always got to give that honor to my ancestors. I thank them, soldiers and soldierettes, salute, that gave us the power and the knowledge and wise power within us to get us to the state that we're in. So I thank them. And may all of our families prosper and everything we touch turn to gold. And I always say, I'm an observer. I see a lot of things. I don't let social media, consume me as a lot of us should do and pay attention to. And don't get drawn into the wrong things. Don't let things enter our psyche that it's not good for us. And always listen to that great divine. Because that great divine want us to focus on what's important and not the BS. I'll say that again. That great, powerful, supreme being. It's not a he or a she. That magnificent higher force, great divine, want us to focus on what's important and not BS. Now, I always reiterate, one doesn't know everything. And I don't never want to come off like that. And I also say, one doesn't think that I am perfect. Of course I'm not perfect. None of us are. So, with that being said, but I do know thyself. And brothers and sisters, study individuality. When you're an individual, and it's not that you're better than nobody or you don't want to communicate with anyone or link up with anyone, but your spirit, our spirit, is our spirit, and we must protect it at all costs. And what I always say about the spirit, folks, spirit never lies. Instincts, intuition, gut feeling, whatever you want to call it, it doesn't lie. Now, this is where it gets tricky, because a lot of times we are in contact with those that we love, care about, which could be family, friends, significant other, whether it's male or female, brother or sister, etc., etc. And sometimes in life, and this is a reality, we can get hurt by those that we love, care about. Now, how do we deal with situations like this, especially when we really care about a person and, really like them and, just like the things that especially if they brought value into your life. Now, when you run into a person, place, or a thing, I've talked about this sometimes, and I've dealt with this. So that's why, I get that confidence from our great divine, because that's what we got to be led by, folks, that great divine. When you're led by it, you'll never go wrong. I guarantee it. So go back to when we run into a person, place, or a thing that we might feel, those weird feelings our human side gets sometimes. Always be analytical. I'll say that a lot. Always check things out before we jump off an impulse or assume things. Sometimes we just have to let that great divine move. And I think a lot of us forget that. And another thing that I'm observing is that we begin this walk trying to help one another, brother, sister, young, old. At least that's what I had in my spirit when I first started this walk, because I know the struggles I've had within myself, physically, mentally, spiritually, So, and I've came through some major challenges. It's like a lot of us out here, my like-minded brothers and sisters. So I know what it's like to be in your lower self. So when you've been there and you've learned from it, I think that can put it, even though we always learn and we never stop learning. But if you have built up that wise power within, and you do have a righteous spiritual influence, and it's real from the heart, and the divine is touching you and lead you, go with it, my brothers and sisters. Don't listen to nothing out here to stop you on your walk. If you're righteous and you mean well within, and that go for brother or sister. Because one thing we gonna learn on this walk, brothers and sisters, we're always gonna, we're gonna go into situations where this person, place, or thing that we're gonna be like, wow, what the heck did I do? Don't ever let yourself get in that mode. Like, what did I do? If you know you're righteous within the heart, you never have to contemplate that. There's freedom in being an individual. As long as you're righteous now, we got to be good, because there's always that karma factor. I'm not going to get on that too much because I mention that every podcast just about. And something I want to say, welcome to another Silhouette podcast. I was thinking that the other day and I was going to start saying that. I like the silhouettes. It's because I'm about the message, information, and the artwork that I do on my banners and thumbnails is according to my spirit, subject, or how I'm feeling. So that's how I look at it. Not trying to be cool or get attention. No, everything I do, or everything one should do, especially righteously, brother or sister, should always be with a purpose. I don't care what it is. It could be taking a selfie. Have a righteous purpose behind it, not just to get attention. And that's what leads me to, a lot of us, not all of us now. And remember, I'm not perfect, but I'm an observer, and I listen to that higher force. I don't play with that divine. So, and what I am observing is we are turning into entertainers. We are forgetting about the walk. Not all of us now, because when you have that right connection to that divine, you will be connected to the righteous brothers and sisters. Even if you're not, speaking all the time, you'll know who the right ones are. But we have to talk to that divine. We have to study ourselves, our inner, our outer, our significant other, our children, family. We have to study things around us, and we will see things, and we won't miss things, or we won't, have a lot of misunderstandings. We will overstand. We will be sure about things, but we analyze things before we come to conclusions. I always say, folks, always look at every angle before we come to any conclusion on any situation, especially if it's something of importance and it's something that can impact your life, whatever that may be. Always, analyze. Look that word up. See what that's all about. Get that into your subconscious. Never jump off an impulse, brothers and sisters. I always say that. And never just see something and jump on it. We really have to cut that out. We gotta get away from the BS and get back to what that divine want us to do, to help keep this universe balanced. Because the world is at a tilt. And we got to remember, folks, there's a greater, bigger, higher force. The universe is way bigger than this little small space we in. This little space we in is nothing to what the divine sees, so to speak. Look through the divine's eyes and see what the divine sees. And what I'm observing right now, and this is just my own opinion, what I think the divine sees in a lot of us is BS. And that's something we got to stop. Because no one can hide from that greater force. And that goes for me too. So while we going back and forth and trying to outdo each other and competing and getting the most attention, and everybody's still putting, jumping on that same thing that they throw out here, and sometimes you can't tell if the things that we see in the media. Now, I want to say rest in peace and in power to artists, to to rap artists or any artist or anybody that has passed here or transitioned here recently. May they rest in peace and in power. But brothers and sisters, let's go deeper into these situations with these rappers and a lot of other things that connect to this that's going on out here in the media. Let's really go into the thick of the matter. And I have to say, it's a lot of brothers and sisters that do get that answer questions that some don't ask. Like I say, when you're righteous, you know who the right ones are. And I just want to reiterate that. I want to put that in there. I do listen to the brothers that do have real questions and really are on the outside of the perimeter and know what's really going on. And that's what I'm getting at. But there are those that are caught up in entertainment, attention, and not paying attention to the pattern that's going on here, folks. We got to get to the root of the matter and see why do these things keep occurring. What is going on? I mean, I know people put themselves in situations and they end up meeting their demise. But let's break the whole thing down. What's really going on? Is someone setting this up for this to happen? I mean, it's happening too randomly. And for one, I don't believe. And one must know. And what is that, folks? Knowing thyself. So you have to know, and I don't use this word, but I don't say belief, but I'm going to say it in this example. One doesn't believe in coincidences. There's no such thing as coincidences. And coincidences can misguide us almost and deter our thinking and get us away from digging deep into the matter and see what's really going on. And that's what I'm saying here. That divine want us to focus on what's important. Our children, our family, especially the children, the youth. Because a lot of us that are out here now, especially those like me, up in our 50s and on up, we're not going to be here, brothers and sisters. So we have to stop fucking wasting time. Focus on our youth. And I know a lot of us are, as far as brothers and sisters. Salute to those that are paying attention to the youth and the real matters out here. Now, things can be discussed, but don't get distracted by it, brothers and sisters. Stick to what's important. That's that message from our great divine. We need to focus, y'all, and focus on what's important. Not this bullshit out here. We are continuously jumping on the bullshit. Not all is bullshit now that's in the media, but there is some, and we got to deflect that shit if we want to stay strong. How are we ever gonna grow collectively as brothers and sisters if we all in single groups and we all, not all of us now, trying to get the biggest following, as my son said in the father and son discussion we had in the video. And if you want, you can check that out. Because, my son, he called himself Lord Lamont, and you will see him in the future because we be doing music and everything, My son has came a long way, and he's young. He's in his 20s. He's been through his challenges, but very intelligent, very smart. And I think he's, learned his lessons. And I'm thankful. I thank my divine. And you know why that happened? And, I had something to do with it, but most of it was himself. He grew. He finally grew. He had to go through some things, like we all did as brothers and sisters when we were young. And now he knows. And I stayed in there with him, I didn't give up on him. I chipped away. I stayed with him. That's my son. Our children didn't ask to be here. A lot of times we take our children for granted. And as I did at one time. So that's why I'm so hard and so strict about the youth. I'm not playing when it comes to the youth. I love my young brothers and sisters because just as much as they learn from us, brothers and sisters, we can learn from them. We just got to learn to listen. A lot of these young brothers and sisters, that's all they want is someone to just listen. We got to stop with the bullshit out here, bro. Real talk. I mean this from the heart. People can take this how they want it. I am an individual, as we all are. We all have insight, teachings, gifts, abilities. We got to stop this prejudging we do, this stigma judging. That's what my black people have. We still judge each other by views, subscriptions. Yes, we still do that shit. Yes, I observe this. Now, we talk about speaking the truth and being real. Okay, let's be real. Just like if something wrong with me, if something incorrect I do, or something don't like in me, which people have in the past, that's all right. I know the bigger picture. I would never get, no. I'll be like, okay, thank you. I appreciate your, I appreciate, I would rather somebody tell me that I'm not doing something right or come talk to me than to speculate and assume and don't say anything, and, but if it's not of importance, not really that big of a deal, just be with one another and stick to the bigger mission. That's what it's about. Stick to the mission. It's not a competition. Made a video about that too. So, and I've never been in competition with anyone. I've always been led by my great divine. Everything that I do, everything that's been in my life, as far as my family, children, those I have connected with, whether online, outside the line, just in life in general, everything has come from that great divine. What I'm doing right now, this is not even me. This is the great divine. When I do my music, that is the divine. When I speak, when I move, when I talk, that's that force working through me. So, and that I had to get that out. We got to stop with the BS. We got to stop with this damn judging, because I judge no one. You can have the biggest, hugest platform in the whole damn world. I will cheer for you. I will clap. I will cheer you on, because that great divine will give me what? Good karma. I never had hate in my system. Never, ever. And that's why we can't, become consumed by what we may think others may think. Because remember, folks, might be a misunderstanding. We got to keep that in our spirit too. Because you have some entities out here outside of our righteous circle. And when they see brothers and sisters connecting, and you see someone, starting to grow and starting to become powerful, evil entities outside of our righteous circle now, not inside, outside, that will come in and whisper in people's ear and make up things. People do that. It's fucked up, but people do that shit. And it's crazy. And I'm talking about outside our righteous circle, the entities. And a lot of us know who the ops are. A lot of us do. And they will make another person look bad that's not even doing anything, and going back to this other individual and lying on them and saying things, and the person that's just being righteous and just being an individual, not even aware that this is going on about them. And this happens a lot here on this social media, I noticed. That's why one of the reasons I stopped getting in chat rooms and I kind of stopped commenting. Nothing against platforms. I love doing that. I love communicating with those in chat rooms and comments, but I just kind of started stepping back and keeping myself right, and focus. Like I said, that great divine pulled me out and wanted me to focus on what's important. Like my 7-year-old, my children, the children on his mom's side, focusing in on my life, keeping me healthy, my mind, talking to my mom more, my uncle, thinking about my family, things like that. Because I'm telling you, man, time will go by and you will see all the things that you neglected and things you didn't take of importance. So that's why I'm saying now, that great divine, that higher supreme being, woo, it's been so good in our lives. Remember that, folks. Everything we do should come from that great divine. So if there are any, I'm not even gonna say nothing negative. I gotta keep it positive. But if there are those that are, maybe assuming things about me or any other brothers and sisters, I'm talking about the ones that's righteous. Now, for me, oneself, everything I do is not even me. It's the great divine working through me. And that's how we'll be able to see things and won't get caught up in the BS. And I love my brothers and sisters, but I have learned to be real with oneself and everybody else, because the truth isn't always to make you feel good. Remember, folks, you learn from a teacher. You only feel good from a preacher. So always let that great divine move through us and focus on what's important and not the BS. And that's my word. It's my positive thought. That's my real thought. And I honor your family, my family, reaches and teachers. Salute and thank those that came in or any podcast that has commented, past, present, or future. I thank you. Salute. And I honor my children, their mothers, brothers and sisters all over the world. May you have peace in your part of the world, wherever you are, right now. One.